Hello, welcome to the video. In this video, I'll talk about mindful eating and how it can help you better understand your cravings and manage your cravings in a way that you're not overindulging in the bad junk food. So, first off, what is mindful eating? So, just say you have a meal in front of you, and that meal consists of different things. And you're eating it. You're eating the meal, but you're not really aware that you're eating it. Your mind is somewhere else. Your mind is at school or at work or something you have to do later on. So your mind is everywhere, but you're not really focused in on the meal you're eating. So you're just mindlessly eating, or you have your phone propped up in front of you and you're watching on your phone while you're eating. So you're not mindful of what's going in your mouth. You're just eating and you want to quickly be done and then move on to the next thing. So you don't take in the flavor, the texture of the food, where it came from, the different elements of the plate, if it's healthy or not. That's why so many people get fat. Really, you see lots of people having microwavable meals. You see people taking off the lid, putting in the microwave for 2-3 minutes, then eating it. They didn't care, or they didn't have the awareness to see if that was healthy. They didn't even savor the food. They just ate the food because it's food. Like here people say food is food, which I think is complete BS. They eat the food, then they move on to something else. They're not mindful of the food they're eating, whether it's healthy, unhealthy, processed or not. We just have so many people eating and eating and eating and eating. Some people even eat when they're not hungry. Some people just eat. I was like this. When I would get bored or I had nothing to do, or I saw my friends eating, or somebody had brought pizza or something, and I'd already ate and I wasn't hungry, I would still indulge. I would still eat the junk food. Or when I feel I'm lonely or sad, grab the ice cream and start eating the ice cream. Grab the chocolate, start eating the chocolate. Even though I wasn't even hungry. Then we give in to the cravings. That's why we're so fat in this society. It's because we're not mindful of what we're eating. If we were mindful of the consequences and exactly what was on our plate, we wouldn't eat that type of food. If we were mindful that our food is good and nourishing and we have lots of different things on our plate, then we would be able to distinguish the unhealthy meal from the healthy meal, because we're eating healthy, so we know what's on our plate. We're aware of what's on our plate. So there's different things you can do, which I'll walk you through right now, to be better mindful of the food you're eating and how to actually enjoy that food. Because when you're mindful, you enjoy your food more. You feel more full, more satiated, and you feel that feeling of fullness. You feel that feeling of fullness and that satisfaction that you get from eating a healthy meal once you're mindful. So first off, we have savoring. So whenever you are looking at your plate, let's just say you cooked fish and rice, okay? You had some fish, asparagus, and rice. Let's just say that. You want to look at your plate. You want to get your fork, eat the fish, and then while that flavor, you want to You want to slowly chew the food and just close your eyes and just slowly savor the food. Move it around, move it around. Savor it. Get a feel for the texture of the food, how it melts in your mouth, the different seasonings you put in it. And just slowly start chewing that until you finally swallow it. Then notice how much flavor you got from that. Even though it has the same amount of flavor if you just ate it and then swallowed it right away. But this time you took the time to put the food in your mouth and then savor it, and then you got all those flavors. You got all those flavors, and you got that feeling of, this is good. I want to eat more. So that's basically what savoring is. And what you can also do is look at the details of your plate. Let's just say you made the food. You made the food and you have the food in front of you. Look at the details. Look at the piece of fish. Look at the crust on the fish. Maybe it's like a light brown crust. Open it up with a fork, you see its color inside. The texture of the food. Maybe you play around with it a little. You see the texture. It fall apart when you hit it with the fork. It's flaky. Or the rice. It's nice and fluffy. And it's soft. Then you have the asparagus. It's nicely seasoned. You have that good crust on it. Nice and green color. Then you start to examine it little by little. You start to examine everything. Now you've examined your food. You've taken in the food that you're eating. And you've looked at every little detail. Then you become present. Now you're present in that moment. You're not thinking about something else. You're not thinking about work. You're not thinking about school. You're not thinking about, I have to go run to this. I have to do this after this. You're there. You're present in the moment. And you're enjoying yourself. And this is a hard practice. It's hard to implement when we live in this society of rush, 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 rush. Do this, do that, do this. Rush, rush, rush. You have to follow. This is. We're just constantly stressing ourselves out. And there's negative effects to eating while in a rush or eating while you're panicked. Because while you're eating while you're panicked, your stomach doesn't have the time to digest that food properly. It's just sitting in there, then you're running around, you're panicking. Your digestive tract is going to mess up. You're not going to digest the food properly. Instead, what you need to do is sit back for 5 minutes. Literally, finish your meal, then sit back for 5 minutes and do some breathing. Do some breathing, or just sit there with the food, and you can watch the food into your stomach, and you can see it being digested. Just sit there. No phone, nothing. Just sit there and watch the food be absorbed into your body. And think about all the nutrients you got from that food. And the feeling you got when you finish. The feeling of fullness. Just sit back and be mindful of that. I'm guilty of having my phone while I eat. I'm guilty of having my phone propped up here and me watching a video while I eat. And really, it's so much better once you eliminate that. Your food literally tastes better. You feel better. And you don't get as many cravings. there's beauty in being mindful of the food, especially if you cooked it yourself and you made it. Being appreciative of the food. Looking at the piece of fish and then even having gratitude towards the meal. Looking at the piece of fish or the steak or the chicken and being like, this animal sacrificed its life. It got killed for me to eat it. Thank the animal. Thank the farmer. Thank the person who packaged it and delivered it to the grocery store. Thank the grocery store. Thank the grocery store clerk who rung it up. So you have all these elements, because food goes through so many steps, and it's beautiful, the process. They have to capture the fish. They have to kill the fish. They have to slice it perfectly so it looks nice while you buy it. They have to put it in the packaging. They have to then ship it, but they have to have it in a specific temperature so it gets to the place it needs to go safely without it going bad. Then it gets placed in your grocery store. Then you pick it up. Just for you to go and mindlessly eat it. So that's why I think mindfulness will really, really help you. Especially being mindful of the cravings you get. Not just the food, just the cravings and the emotions. Meditation really helps. If you want to be more mindful, of course, do these things I told you, but also if you're struggling with cravings or you just want to grab the snacks when you're not hungry, you're emotionally eating, try mindfulness meditation. Download any mindfulness app, or you can go on YouTube and search up 10-minute or 5-minute mindfulness meditation and try it out. Because once you do this practice, you become aware of the cravings you feel. You become aware of them. You step back. You step back from that feeling and you examine it. Do I really want to eat the junk food right now? Do I have to listen to this feeling? Then you decide. Because you are now aware and present in that moment. Don't eat when you're stressed. Don't eat when you're anxious. Step back while you are feeling that. And take a moment to calm yourself down. Do some deep breathing. Sit down, relax, be with your thoughts. And maybe wait a little before you eat. When you've calmed down, go back and eat. I hope this video helped you, because I'm still implementing this right now, and it's a challenge. It's a challenge when you have so many rushing hustle society, and everyone's trying to hustle. You need to eat. Worry about your health later. Now you need to hurry. Why? So I can get obese in the future? That's not my goal. I know it's not yours. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. And I hope you take this advice. So thank you for watching, and hope you have a good one.